Hey, 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 everybody. It is a sunny Thursday, and you know what that means. That is right. It is episode 93 of The Real Deal Pod with Alistair and Jeff. It is me, your trusted realtor, Alistair Carrington, alongside our trusted mortgage broker, our main man, Jeff Lee. And today, we have a special guest, Jen Robertson, joining us. Jeff, my man, how are you doing, buddy? What's happening?
You know what? I just looked at myself in our video here, and I just realized that I have a hairy face. Like I'm like,
Yeah, you haven't shaved, man.
I need to shave. Like
Yeah.
I have an event that I'm going to tonight. I'm like, I gotta get the
Boy.
dome a little bit better. I gotta.
I'm surprised your girlfriend hasn't told you to clean yourself up yet.
Oh, you know what? I know.
She will.
Don't worry, Jeff. I still think you're beautiful. Don't worry.
I know.
I know that means nothing to you.
This
But
is already going off the rails, but yeah, like Christina, who is my partner, better half. She will always say to me when I'm scruffy, she'll just rub my hand and she'll like, and that usually means like, yeah, I
the
gotta
shave.
gotta do something with this.
Yeah.
Jen, you're a woman. Like, do you like your partner to be scruffy, or do you like clean shaven, or 5 o'clock
I like
shadow?
clean. Yeah, 5 o'clock shadow is kind of sexy on some people, but I'll go with clean shaven.
Don Johnson and Tubbs and Miami Vice, like, you
Oh
know
yeah.
what? Those guys can
No,
pull
man,
it
the
off.
80s are over, buddy. That's not a good look for anyone.
The 80s are coming back. The 80s are coming
Oh
back.
man. As long as it's the music, the 80s music can come back anytime.
Yeah,
Right. See?
I
There you
know.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, those rock ballads, those heavy metal rock ballads like Europe and
The hair
uh,
bands, baby.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah. I had the
Anyway,
80s hair at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too, if you can believe it.
how about yourself, Alistair? How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm good. I've been busy. That's why we haven't unfortunately shot. We missed last week. We missed last week's recording because just it's been busy, but it's been good. And we won't get into it. I don't want to dive, get off track, but the market does seem to be stabilizing. It seems to be spring. It seems to be a little bit more active. Like I said, prices aren't jumping through the roof, but I think we've hit a little bit of stabilization. So that's a good thing, man. That's a good thing.
Well, Jen is from My Marketing Maven. Before we get into it, let's be polite and gracious. How has your week been, Jen?
Yes.
It's been good, actually. Just working on, I have a new membership. Well, not new now. It was launched in February. So I had my third class with my member earlier today and just excited to be teaching all things social media. Uh,
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's fun and it warms my heart. And I just love sharing my knowledge and helping other people where they feel nervous and don't know what to do or where to go or how to do it. And I just walk them along.
Which is a great segue to introducing Jen Robertson from My Marketing Maven. I thought it was great to have a guest on social media because anybody that's in small business should have a social media presence. Anybody that basically, probably breeze has a social media account of some sort somewhere on the personal side. And Jen is going to be a great resource for us. I personally have hired Jen to do audits on our social media. She's brought a lot of things to our insight. And when we did that audit, I was just like, you know what? There's probably a lot of people that are doing things wrong that need just to do little things right that can make all the difference. So I thought it was a good time to introduce Miss Robertson with My Marketing Maven. But I did want to give a little bit of an introduction to her. Jen, correct me if I'm wrong with any of this, but your company is Marketing Maven. Obviously, the whole goal is to turn social media chaos into something that is consistent, something that is structured, something that has a strategy to it. I know that you've helped me, so I know your whole mantra is to help business owners stop being doing everything and being everywhere because you can never be a jack of all trades, because then you're never a master of one. And again, it's just kind of getting people into it because a lot of people want to do it themselves. They're doing things wrong or they're doing things half right. Um, we also know that My Marketing Maven offers a service where you can jump in virtually and just do everything for people. Um, but again, there's a lot of do's, a lot of rights, and a lot of wrongs. And I guess one of the first questions that I have for you is we hear, or I hear that you have to be on social media all the time. But as a small business, what is kind of that structure or what is kind of that schedule if you're doing it yourself? Because I know for me, I was doing it all wrong. So, what is the simple things that business owners need to know as far as how often should they be on social media? Because some people believe they need to be on there 24/7.
Great question, Jeff. And first of all, I'm going to say you're not doing it wrong if you're doing it. You just might not be doing it well.
Right.
So I love to help people understand the ins and outs so that they do it well. And you hit the nail on the head when you talked about consistency. I preach consistency, and you don't need to be everywhere all the time. The key is, where is your ideal audience? How many platforms can you handle? And you don't need to be dancing on TikTok and preaching on LinkedIn and doing all the things. You need to be consistent. So if that means you're just on LinkedIn, depending on what your business is, if you're B2B or B2C, or if you're just on Facebook or Instagram, the key is consistency.
I have a question because I always talk to people when they hear the acronyms B2B and
I was going to
B2C.
expand on
They're
that.
like, what
Go
is
into
that?
that. Yes, exactly. B2B is business to business, and B2C is business to client. So a service like mine can be both. I can have clients that just want me to do their social media, but primarily I'm B2B, which is business to business. So I help businesses show up clearly and consistently online. So again, going back to that consistency piece is, if you're a business, pick two or three platforms and be consistent. So if you're doing it yourself and you're busy, you're running a business and you are wearing all of the hats, a lot of people I find put social media on the back burner. They think it's maybe not important, or I don't have time for it, or I don't know what to post. And the thing is people are looking for you on socials. Socials is not just for fun anymore. People are searching, they're doing research, they're wanting information, they're looking up answers for their questions through social media. So the importance is to be on there consistent. If it's once a week, once a month, be there and be reliable, because your clients or your potential clients can then rely on you that week. And if you can be on there twice a week or three times a week, fantastic. But make sure you're consistent.
Hey, Jen, what's your feeling on like there are platforms out there like and there's I forget what we call them, but there's platforms that you can use where you can post it in a platform and then it spits it out to all your social media channels. Like, is that something people should utilize? Like, what is the pros and what are the cons of using? I think they called it Hootsuite. Was it Hootsuite, Alistair,
Yeah,
or was it?
there's Hootsuite. Even Facebook Manager. Facebook has their own version where you can put it on Facebook, set something up to go on Facebook and Instagram,
Yeah.
right? Everybody's got their own version now.
It's
Yeah,
called
so
a scheduler. So
Yeah.
yes.
there's third-party schedulers such as Hootsuite. Personally, I use uh, wow, it just went whoop, right out my head. Uh, starts with a P.
I
I
want to
use
say plod,
Publer.
but it's not plod because that's a note taker.
Oh yeah, no, it's Publer. It's called Publer. So Hootsuite is a third-party scheduler, and it can be a CRM and do other things. It's actually quite expensive, I find,
Yeah.
for small business users if you're not using the full platform. I use Publer because it's at a good price point and it offers a lot of options. So, pros and cons with Publer, I can go in and I can schedule all three platforms. So, I do Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I can schedule all three of them at the same time, but then go in and modify the posts.
Hmm.
So, like Facebook will have a different sized image. You can't put links in the content for Instagram, so I would put it in my bio. For LinkedIn, they don't like links in the words, so I put it in the comments, that sort of thing. So you can adjust everything a little bit, give little tweaks so that it's perfect for each platform. And I'm in one program. And so, boom, done, scheduled, and I can schedule out my week.
So you're an advocate of using third-party platforms.
I am, yes. You can go into your Instagram. Some people are really good on their phones. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit, just a little bit older where I actually work on my computer and prefer to go into my Instagram and programs on my computer. So using a third-party scheduler is easier for me than just clicking on my phone and setting up and boop boop. But yeah, and I'm not a big fan of Meta. I just haven't gone in and used it, and it feels complicated because there's so many different places to get to the same place, and so I keep it simple and use Publer.
Awesome.
Nice, nice.
I
So,
could keep on going, but I don't want to hog this space. So Alistair,
no,
I know you're a social media kind of guy, so go
well, no,
for it.
it's actually something that's I'm again, I'm a little older, and I actually don't like social media at all. So this is a great this is actually a great pod for me to sit back and listen and learn on, and I let other people do my Instagram stuff because I don't like social media. I'm one of those people that have watched people get lost in a wormhole for like 45 minutes and pop their head out and gone, where's my life gone? So,
45 minutes is nothing.
but it's
Yeah.
so important, but at a time is what I'm saying. But it is so important for business
Like
and
I
stuff
said,
like that. And
45
that's,
minutes is not. Sorry,
no,
I'm making this all about myself here
go
today.
ahead.
I went and relaxed for what I thought was 5 minutes. I looked by watching reels. Before I knew it, it was like an hour and a half and like
Holy
12:30
man.
at night. I'm like, what am I doing?
Oh, boundaries.
Right? That is wild. That is wild. And that's why I know it's so important for business. And that's the part that just keeps me going is that I got to keep the business end of our social media going. So that's actually one of the questions that I have is what's the biggest mistake that you see when small business of that, like you, what's the biggest mistake, sorry, that you see small businesses make when they start out on social media?
Oh gosh, I had a few things just run through my head right off the bat. There's like more than one, so it's hard to pick one. Um, a couple of things is one is branding. And obviously, you can tell I'm big on branding.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for a business to have consistent branding across their website, their email, their socials. Social media is one piece of the pie when it comes to marketing. It's an important piece, but it should be consistent with the rest of your marketing efforts. So having consistent colors, having consistent fonts, when to show your logo, when not to. Um, it's all about the image and showing who you are and who your business is. It's with a brand, you're more than just a logo. And with engaging and showing personality, you're more than just a brand. So it's all in conjunction. The second error that I would see is not having a call to action in each post.
Hmm.
So it's very important. Social media is what? Social,
Right.
right? The purpose is to engage with your audience, to build that relationship. We all network, we're all small business owners. We know that the purpose of networking is to get people to know, like, and trust you. And you can use social media to build that reputation. So you need to um, engage with your audience, have a call to action. And I'm not talking about selling. So with a call to action, it should be 80% conversation and 20% sales. That's sort of the rule that I live by, so that you're not sell, sell, sell. If you sell, 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 then people will be turned away. They'll be turned off. They won't want to stop on your posts. If you're always just posting about what you had for lunch or you went for a hike and the weather was beautiful, look at this flower, they're not going to take your business seriously.
Right.
So it's a balance. You have to have content that is engaging, educational, shows you're the expert, but is also personal. And then with the call to action is where you're going to get your audience participating with you. You're going to ask them a question or drop me an emoji or go listen to my podcast, right? You're going to tell them what to do so that they take action. And then you have to respond when they do. So if you ask a question, hopefully your audience, somebody will respond to that question, and then you respond back, and da 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 da, then you've got your engagement going on.
Right.
I have a question with the engagement. Well, a lot of people when they post, they're always looking for the like the thumbs up or how many people liked this.
Yeah.
How important is that, like on when it comes down to the algorithms or all that back end stuff? Like, is it the likes that people are recognizing? Because a lot of people told me it's about the impressions that it's leaving.
It that's the fun part with social media, and I use the word fun because people might not think it's fun. So I'm trying to integrate fun into socials. And the fun part is that the algorithms are always changing. It used to be, oh, look how many likes I got. Oh, I got 1,000 likes. Likes don't count. It's the engagement that counts. And so you can have a bunch of likes and it's great, but the algorithms have changed so much so that they've got AI bots now that can tell when you scroll and when you stop. So they'll know who you're interested in seeing and what you're interested in looking at. The other thing is, it used to be on Instagram. If you put two words, like if you commented, that's great, or good job, it didn't really count. You had to use like more than 5 words,
Yeah.
and it would be able to tell if you were really properly engaging. So the the follower numbers, the likes, it's not really that important. It is the engagement. It is the conversation back and forth, clicking on the links, writing a comment that's more than just thumbs up, and giving more than just an emoji. And how long you are on the post matters.
Right.
They can tell when you've been on the post for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I have one more question. I have one more question just to go along with that. What about small businesses, right? That or owners that decide to post their personal feelings about subjects as a way of engagement.
Yeah.
Or if they're breaking up with their spouses.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. So some people use social media as therapy, and some people will hide behind their screen and just give their opinion regardless. You're a business. So how are you going to be a business and show up online as a business? You have to think of it as your online reputation. And so are you going to show up and like I did post something on Facebook that was maybe a little questionable, and somebody said to me, "Well, what if your clients don't like that?" I'm like, "Well, maybe I don't want them as a client."
Right.
So there is the aspect of allowing your personality to show, being who you are, letting people into your world and letting them know you. But then there's that balance again of, we don't need to know your deep, dark, dirty secrets. Like, why do you want to put that out on the web? Why do you want to have that online? And
Crazy.
are people going to want to do business with you if they know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It,
think about that a lot. Sorry, I think about that a lot as a realtor, right? Like as realtors, our life is one really. You know what I mean? Like our face is our brand,
Yes.
right? Our voice is our brand. So even if you have two different pages, one business page and one personal page, people still see you all as one. So it's just one of those things that I think we always have to balance just what we let out of this head, right?
Well, and I had that with Jeff, and people love his posts about his dog. And I
Yeah.
said, that's great, post about your dog, but can you bring it back to business? Can you say something about the business? Because your intention, what is your intention with your socials? Is your intention to just be personal, or is your intention to build your business?
Mm-hmm.
And again, with branding, bringing back in the branding, you can have a personal post, but still add in a branding element and still talk about your business. I loved his Jeff's post where he talks about his family and this is why he does what he does. This is why his business is growing because he shares, but he also brings it back to business.
I have a question, Jen. Say, for example, Alistair is too busy or, self-admittedly doesn't like to do social media. How does my marketing maven get to know Alistair and who he is? So when you are representing Alistair on social media, how does my marketing maven bring Alistair to life, right? Like what is the process? Because I'm sure, well, I know there's a lot of business owners out there that either don't like social media, but
I
know
hear
they
that
got
a
to
lot.
do it.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people out there that want to do it, but they just don't have the time to do it. And I know there's a lot of people out there that do it, but then just do it wrong and might as well just not even be doing it at all, right? So
Yeah.
when my marketing maven comes in, or somebody comes, a business owner comes to my marketing maven, like how do you get to know who this person is, what they're all about? Like what is the process behind that? Because a lot of companies will say, well, this is what we're going to do, but they don't really ever get to know you.
Yes, yes, exactly. And that's why I wanted to do things differently. I love to learn. I love to get into a business and get to know about the business, get to know about the person. Working with me is I like to have fun while I work. And so we will meet, we will have an hour-long conversation at the beginning. I have a list of questions that I will ask you to build what's called a profile. So I'll build a profile about your brand, your voice, whether you like to be fun and spontaneous, or you like straight lines and you like to be crystal clear and because each person is different and you want to share that individuality about that person or that company. So each company has a voice, I call it. And so I have a list of questions where we get to know the company. They have all kinds of resources. I can read their book if they have a book, their website, their podcasts, their newsletters, all of that. So I get to know the client and build that profile and use that for their content. And then I meet consistently with my clients on a monthly basis so that I get feedback. Because I have two services. I have a done with you service and a done for you service. The done with you is my membership where I teach you what I know and help you learn and do your socials and make it a priority and keep accountable. For a lot of people, it's just a matter of accountability to be
Yeah.
consistent. And then my done for you service, we build the profile and I have a spreadsheet where I lay everything out and then build your content for the season and get your feedback. So I also have a list of questions that I would send you on a monthly basis to get your personal input. So I can pull up the facts about your business, especially with AI nowadays. We can do a lot with AI. I have my own Gen bot where I can pull information from, but then I still want your personal
Right.
participation. So I'm not a take it and leave it and you never hear from me again. I will want you involved a
Yeah.
little bit.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Hey, I want to go back to something that we were talking about a little bit earlier because we were talking about like people were looking at at likes and loves and all of that sort of stuff, and that was kind of really how we knew that our social media was working. People liked it. We're like, all right, look at this. I got 300 likes. I know that this post worked. Okay, I'm going to make another post that's just like that, so I get another 300. So if it's not that anymore and it's impressions, right, which you really can't see, right? And people that really don't even understand the algorithms and just they don't understand. How do you know it's working? How do you know your social media is working?
That's such a good question because a lot of people I feel get frustrated with social media because they can't see the exact ROI or the return on investment. It is very difficult to see how is your social media efforts directly impacting your business. So there are analytics that you can have through, like when I use my Publer, I'll pay the extra for the analytics and it will keep track of analytics for me. Then you have to learn how to read them and understand them. Um, Again, it's not the likes, it's the engagement.
Mm.
So are people reacting to your post? I saw your post. Are they commenting on your post? And those types of metrics are more important than just seeing the likes or seeing how many people you have. Some people get really caught up in, oh, I only have 500 followers, or I have 3,000 followers. Yay, look at me. But are those followers engaging with your content? Are they active followers? So, because I'll recommend, oh, go into your accounts. I'll tell my clients, you need to follow other people and engage with other people as well. So you have to be responsible for your social media. You can't just let it go and post and pray, and you have to engage. And it can take 5 minutes a week. Like it really doesn't take that long to engage. And the importance of it is that conversation again.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I once was coached that every day you should go on your social media and make at least 10 comments to posts that
Yep.
that you can that relate to you or that you can comment on, and you should reply with no less than 10 words, right?
Yes.
And to your point, Jen, I think that just brings that engagement. Like people, like if you give somebody a thumbs up or like a happy birthday or
That's
good
lazy.
job, it doesn't really do anything. Like say, for example, if I'm engaging with one of Alistair's posts, but if I engage with his post with 10 or more words, it now becomes a conversation, or it becomes like, hey, this person is actually taken, is interested in what they're doing. And that also builds trust in your business when you're engaging like that as well. So, where I'm going with this, as business owners, it's not only important that you're posting, but it's also really important that you're engaging, right?
Exactly. Yes.
And I wanted to even kind of circle back to what you said in consistency. I read this book by Dustin Woodhouse. It's called Rep by Rep. And really what it comes down to is really the consistency of whatever you're doing. You have to do it each and every day. And eventually you're going to get to where you need to be. But if you're not consistent in it, um, you're just never going to get there.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times too, people want to be consistent, but they overextend themselves and saying, "Hey, I'm going to do this, you know, I'm going to do this 5 times a week." And then when they don't do it 5 times a week, then they get upset with themselves and then just don't do it at all. And it's to start setting small goals. If you're doing it yourself and not hiring like a My Marketing Maven and Jen, is that maybe it's not 5, but you start with 1, right? And then once you do with 1, then you go with 2 kind of idea. So my question is how can someone do that consistently? And you may have answered this already, but also creating the content that actually is engaging, sounds like you, and isn't really, a chat GPT kind of prompt.
Good one. Okay. So a couple of thoughts that I had with that real quick is um, one tip that you could do is to be in your content every day. If you're worried about falling down that rabbit hole, which we all do. I mean, I'm in a bad mood, I like to look at cats and dogs doing stupid things or people running into poles or something, right? We all
Right.
need those moments. That's why they're there, right? But why not set a timer?
Yeah.
So there's two words that you'll hear me say a lot. One is consistency, the other is intention. Do it with intention. Be intentional with your social media. So if you're and it's like building a habit you talked about. If you're going to do it every day, if you're going to take 10 minutes, take 10 minutes
Yeah.
and just set an alarm, go in with the intention of commenting on other posts, engaging with your posts, responding to people. And it's important to be involved. You can hire me to do your social media, but I'm not going to let you off the hook and just say, bye-bye. You don't have to do anything. I want you to engage. You know your audience. You know who's your Aunt Mary and who's Uncle Bob that you don't really want to talk to. You know who you want to engage with and engage with those people.
I
And
think that's really, Jen, I think that's really important for people to understand is that you do not leave them alone. Like most social media companies, in my experience, you'll hire them, you'll do an intake, you never hear from them again, right? They just collecting your money each
so
and every
bad.
month. So,
So
so
down.
I'm happy to hear that my marketing maven doesn't let you go, keeps you accountable.
Mm.
And it's really sounds like you get to know your clients as far as so you can, if you are acting on for them, like you really get to know who they are and what they're all about, which is actually really encouraging.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Thank you. And the other thing I wanted to mention is think of it as the long game. Okay, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You can't just go in and blah, 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 do a little thing and then walk away. No, it's your business. You got to care, you got to take time, and you may not see results for 6 months, a year. Like you just got to be consistent. Do it with intention and be consistent.
Yeah. Rep by rep.
That's awesome. So here's a question. Like, is there a specific formula for a good post? Like, can you put into Chat GPT, you know, build me
Yep.
the perfect post and it'll spit out some
Well,
formula?
that's a tricky question. I'm so glad you asked it because we are in the world of AI.
Yeah.
And personally, at the beginning, I was like, no, AI, oh my God, no, I have to have the human touch and it has to be my words. And um, I love AI. AI is a tool and it's a
Yeah.
tool that I use, but it's not the only tool. I still use my brain. I still edit the words. I will still make corrections. There's all kinds of posts out there that are saying, oh, I know when it's AI, you can tell it's written by AI. And that's why you have to have different um, skills, garbage in, garbage out, that sort of thing. But there are certain structures that you can put to a post to make it work. So you have to have a hook. You always want to start with a hook. You have 3 seconds to grab someone's attention. So if you start with, I went for a hike, well, who cares? Okay. But, oh, this butterfly I saw was amazing, or something, you need to hook them. Then what I teach my clients is you have a solve a problem that your client has. What is your client looking for? Because remember, people are not scrolling just to scroll. They're actually searching. They're looking for information. They want to know something. They're in there they have a purpose. So solve a problem, answer a question, share your expertise, and then always, always, always have your call to action. So if you have that structure where you have the hook, you've got the body, and you've got the call to action, you're golden.
Mm.
And then I have content pillars that makes it even more easy for you to structure your content when you don't know what to think about is you show you're the expert, you educate, and then you engage. So I teach that in my classes with my membership. So I give you a lot of strategies and tips to make building your content a lot easier for
That's
your
awesome. And that's one of the things, again, I know as agents, doesn't matter. Like I've been an agent for 8 years now, and heard the same thing in year one, and I still hear the same thing from agents 8 years later is, well, I don't know what to post. What do I even put out
You
there?
have so much to post.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
need to give us like It's exciting what you get to post. You
Yeah.
get to post your customer experiences. And I don't even know you, but I'm just thinking real estate in general. You have what problems are you solving? A client couldn't find a house, you found them a house. A client wanted a rancher because they couldn't do stairs anymore, and you found them a rancher. I've got posts popping out of my head left
Right.
and right now, and then you can show your actual work that
Yeah.
you shared, and you've got people that you can talk about. You've got stories you can tell. People love stories.
That's why I'm excited for this. That's why I'm excited for this pod to get out, is that that
I'm going to get
colleagues of
you
mine
liked
can.
in social media.
Yes, you will. It's the whole being on my phone every day with it. That's the part that
Set
just
a timer.
You don't
10
need to
minutes.
be Alistair.
Don't be everywhere, everything, all things.
Well,
Be one place all the
this
time.
this actually leads to my question because a lot of people, Jen, let's be honest, they don't want to pay for something they think they can do themselves,
Yes.
right? Like I can do it. Yeah, you can do it. Sure you can, but are you doing it right? And some business owners, and I'll give a shout out to Mr. Home Inspector Daniel Fedosenko. Like that guy, he has great social media and he does it himself. Daniel is a good friend of mine, but he's on that phone. He's like a 12-year-old kid on that thing. It's like glued to his face kind of idea. But again, if you take a look at Mr. Home Inspector, um, he's got great social media. He does it himself. He also enjoys it and he loves it. But Jen, when is it time to outsource it? And when is it time to say, you know what? You doing it yourself just isn't working anymore. Or me as a business owner is like doing it for myself, it just isn't working for me. Like when is it the time to say, okay, I need to find a professional to do this for me?
Great question. I'm thinking there's different types of people. There's the person that likes to be on the phone, they like to be on socials, they're doing it, and that's great. All they need is maybe a little bit of education on how to do it better.
Yeah.
Then there's the people that don't know what to post, they're totally lost, they've never opened Instagram. Then you definitely need to get help, whether you get training on how to do it or get somebody to do it for you. I like my clients to know something. I like them to know and understand socials, not just pass it off and let somebody do it. Because if you don't understand what's going on and why you're doing it, what your intention is, then people can take advantage of you, and then they're not posting properly or they're not properly branding, like, and that's why I don't like these big companies that come in and just take your $5,000 and do whatever they want to do for you. What's your business? Who's your audience? What's your voice? Like, what, it's personal, it's you, it's your business. And then there's those that have worn all the hats, they're working their butts off, they're doing everything every day. And this is probably the majority of small business owners is they've got 10 things to do. They're the expert in their field, they're not the expert in social media.
Yeah.
So then pass it off to somebody who is the expert. You do what you do best for your business and let somebody else that's the expert do it. It pass off what you don't like to do and don't want to do and get somebody that enjoys doing it to do it for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what someone has said to me. A good business owner does not do everything.
No,
A good
delegate.
bit a good business owner does what they're good at and delegates everything else that they're not, be it either with staff, be it with third parties, whatever that might be. But if you are a business owner, and you could be the best business owner in the world. There's no way you love to do everything,
No.
right? But I also find that especially with small business is nobody wants to spend money. Like and I think I've always said one of my favorite saying is if you got to save a nickel and you're going to lose a dollar, then what's the point,
Yeah.
right?
I find a lot of time I have to educate people on why they need social media, why they need to be involved with it, why they're going to spend money. And I come in at a price point that's not exorbitant so
Yeah,
that a small business owner can start somewhere. But
yeah,
again, the intention, the consistency, and you should want to be in it for the long term. Like, You're not going to see a return on your investment in 2 months' time if you're going to hire somebody.
Yeah.
Get somebody that's going to work with you, work with your business, and care about your business to show your business online.
Yeah. To your point, I read a post, and this guy lost 100 pounds. But his weight loss journey was from 2018 to 2026, 8 years. And
Wow.
this and he lost 100 pounds. I just on my social media, I saw this yesterday. But to your
Amazing.
point, Jen, it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
No.
And with this gentleman's journey of weight loss, 100, that's a lot of weight. Like go find a 100 pound weight and pick it up. That's a lot of weight,
Mhm.
right? But again, to what we keep on saying, it's just the consistency of doing the same things in and out, in and out, in and out. And I bet you, even with this guy, after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, he didn't even realize the transformation that he was doing because sometimes you don't even see it,
And it
right?
becomes habit, like something that
Yeah,
you just regularly do. And he was probably doing a lot of the same things over and over
absolutely.
again. You don't have to write 10 years of content. That's the other thing. You can repurpose your content from 6 months ago, a year ago. You can tell the same story. People don't remember what happened yesterday, let alone 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So it's not as daunting and overwhelming as people think it is because they just don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
That's a
So
really good point, though, that you can repurpose content. That's a really good
Yeah.
point.
totally can. Yeah.
So, to follow up on that, what's the biggest myth about social media marketing that you'd love to bust?
Ooh, I have a gal that I follow and I love her because she busts all the social media myths out there. And it's like, okay, you can't make 7 digits in 6 months, like not all the information in social media is should we say valid or credible without throwing anybody under the bus?
Shocking.
Um, but that's a very good question. I'm just really not sure what the answer is. But there's a lot of information out there, and it's hard to be seen in the ocean now because there's so many people swimming in it.
Yeah.
That's why you need to be actually the word that came to mind is authentic. You
Right.
need to be authentic in your socials.
Yeah.
If you just go to chat and copy paste and put up a standard picture without any thought or any branding, no one's going to see you. Don't bother. Be real, be authentic, and be confident. Don't be afraid of socials. Socials can
Yeah.
be something that's fun and engaging and can grow your business.
I think
Is
some
there?
of Sorry, yo. So I think some of the best social media I've seen are people that are just truly themselves, right? Like they're just
Yeah.
corny and wonky and just real. Like people relate with real.
And there are trends in socials. Trends, things come and go. And, TikTok started with all the dancing moves, and then you got to keep up. But right now, the trend is authenticity. There's so much AI out there. I can look at a picture and know that it's AI driven.
Yeah.
And so people want raw.
Yeah.
Like if you make a spelling mistake, leave it.
Leave it.
See if somebody notices. And if you notice a spelling mistake, comment, engage. Like, let's just be real, just be ourselves.
Yeah.
People want that. We crave that.
Is there one platform that not necessarily better than the other because they should, they're all necessary. But is there one maybe that's above all, like that's above all? I guess kind of look at like a realtor. If you're a realtor, what do you want to be on? Is it Facebook for sure, and then Instagram, and then TikTok? Or is it no, you want to be on Instagram first, and then yeah, deal with Facebook because it's still a little bit older, and then nobody's buying homes off of TikTok. Like is the one better than the other?
I'm going to say my personal opinion, no,
Sure. Okay.
because it depends on where your audience.
Mhm.
It's not the platform that's important. It's where is your audience,
Mm-mm.
right? Where are they hanging out? If you're looking for professionals, you're going to want to be on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. Sorry, I say them all at the same time.
Yeah.
Looking for business owners, you're going to want to be on LinkedIn. If you're looking for people that are buying a house, you probably want to be on Facebook because where are they doing their research? They're probably looking up houses and looking up information or where did their friend just move? If you're into photography, you want to be on Instagram because that was what Instagram was created for. Where is your audience? And be on the channel where your audience is.
Mm,
And again, consistency. If you can only be on one, be on one.
be on it.
If you have time to be on two, be on two. If you have time to be on three, grow as your business grows.
Right.
I have a question about Instagram, actually. I remember I was talking to somebody and they strategically did Instagram posts. So when you opened up their profile, it created a picture, right?
That's awesome.
Oh,
Right.
That
Like,
takes,
so, and
yeah.
I was like, whoa, like, what do you mean? Like, you just don't, like, there was actually some thought to it. So when they opened up or when somebody would look at their profile, and I guess it has all the images there, it actually created it was their company logo actually, right?
That's
wow. That's
super
neat.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
It,
so there is strategy behind it sometimes as well, I guess.
Yeah, that's neat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why, like, last year, I think they changed, and this is where you have to keep up with the trends and know a little bit about what's going on in socials. They changed their feed from being square posts to being 4 by 5 or profile posts. So everybody's feeds got kind of cut off because they were square. So you have to change them. So there's little things that you need to know that can make a real difference in how you're portrayed. And that's why I talk a lot about branding and the importance of branding so that your feed doesn't look like a mess.
Right.
You know, if they're just stock photos and they're all random, it'll kind of look messy. If you've got 10 different colors going on in all of the places, it'll look messy.
Mm,
And for some people, that's important. For others, it's not. Again, I find consistency is better,
yeah.
and having a real consistent feed is just better. And plus, then you get known. You know, when you see your guys' two little faces, people are going to know that's the real deal podcast because they're going to see it consistently.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the Nike logo, the Starbucks logo. People see it, they recognize it, they know it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So be consistent with that as well.
I have one last question before we wrap it up. And this is I'm actually going to ask this because I'm relating this to myself. If someone is completely overwhelmed and they're marketing with their marketing and they're just like, oh, I just don't know. What is one thing that they can do today to fix it?
Have a conversation with me. Simple as that.
Perfect. And
That's awesome.
this
That's
is
a call to
actually
action, baby. That was
this,
fantastic.
this is a great segue. So this is where we call it the 30-second drop off. I rename it every time. So Jen, I'm going to ask you some questions. I just need you to answer them really simply, and then we're going to allow Alistair to kind of sign us off.
Okay,
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Who are you? What is
I
your name?
am Jen Robertson.
And what is your company?
I'm Jen Robertson with My Marketing Maven, and I like to make your marketing magnificent.
And what is a perfect client for you?
Perfect client for me is a business owner that's been in business for 3 to 5 years, that's been wearing all the hats, is feeling overwhelmed. They either don't like social media or don't want to do social media or have been putting it off. And they either need guidance and training or they need somebody to just take it over and do it for them.
And how do they get a hold of you?
They can email me or call me and or go to my website, mymarketingmaven.ca.
And your email is?
Jen at mymarketingmaven.ca.
And your phone number is?
604-762-2764. And I better not find that on any bathroom walls.
And people that do not watch the video, your website is?
mymarketingmaven.ca.
Jennifer Robinson, mymarketingmaven.ca. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you,
That was
guys. That
much
was really.
fun.
How was that? This
That
was
was fun.
for your first podcast. You were
Ever.
amazing. You were amazing. Quite well done. Well done. Well, thank you everybody for listening with us today. We hope again that we brought you some valuable content. I know for me, this was massive. I have enjoyed every single minute of this pod, and I hope you guys out there listening have taken something away with you too. Whew, get out there and enjoy this weekend. It's supposed to be hot. My birthday is on Monday. Not a big deal. The big deal of that is it's supposed to be plus 21. Plus 21 on Monday. Make sure that people can get you guys get out there, enjoy the weather. We will be back here next week with you guys for episode number 94. Until then, most importantly, stay empowered, stay informed, and Jeff,
Stay tuned.
that's right, baby. Stay tuned. Peace out.